people that have always made up East Baltimore. Sure, Glenn, it's great to see you, delegates. Thank you. And I talked to Hattie not too long ago. Called her, and she was on the job, and she said, "I know you got to be coming to East Baltimore before the campaign starts." And she said, "Make sure you come up here. If I'm still in Hopkins, come see me. If I'm not, find out from McFadden where I am, and then come see me." So, great lady, and I want to thank the mayor for everything she's doing in Lucas. Even in so-called easy times, that's a hard job. You always have a mountain of problems, a mountain of possibilities, and you always have a molehill of money when you're the mayor of any big city. But your steadiness, Mayor, at the helm is something that our city really needs right now. And I thank you so much for your help in this campaign. Now, I haven't been able to really stand up on a soapbox and crow about it, but every time we've had to make cut after cut after cut after cut, I am mindful of the differences between jurisdictions, not with a view towards pitting them against each other, but more towards a view, as Frederick Douglass said, that we are one, our cause is one, and we must help each other in order to succeed. And that's why when it comes to things like some of the formulas that highway user dollars that would disproportionately impact the city, we make the cuts in different ways. When it comes to other reductions, we make them in different ways so that we can protect what we have as a community and as a people and keep moving forward. These have been 3 really miserable, hard, tough years. The most difficult years that our country has faced economically in terms of job losses, foreclosures, since the Great Depression. And the good news, though, is that it looks like we're seeing some signs that we just might be coming out of this. And Maryland is leading other states out of this. What am I talking about? And we know from the beliefs we share that there is no more important place in our state than a family's home. But there's no way to protect a home without a job. So on that one metric, most important of all, are we creating more jobs than we're losing? Finally, after 3 miserable years, we've had the best year of net new job creation that we've had. 36,400 net new jobs. Best year we've had since 2000. And I want to compliment everybody that does such good work here. Let me wax nostalgic a little bit. Chris, I remember when we were back on that board. And these guys at Rose and Ashland, Marlboro, and also they were crying out in the desert, and crying out in the desert. And a lot of people at the time felt like, hey, last person out in the city, turn off the lights. It's just always going to get dirtier, always going to get more unhealthy. Crime's always going to be going up. Nothing you can do about that because it's just Baltimore. And these courageous individuals at Rose and Ashland said, hell no. We're going to make a better tomorrow. They risked their lives. They were out there on the corner being threatened because they were disrupting the open air trade that was going on down there. And I remember at the time, Big Chris put his arm around me. Which is an intimidating thing for him to do. You feel like he can snap you in half. And he said, you see that building up there? What was this used to be called? Griffin Close or something? What was this building? What did you call this building? Right Road. Yeah, whatever he called it. He said, you see that building? I looked up and I see this building. He said, yeah. He says, we need to do something with that. And I said, great, Chris, how about we get the guys off the corner first and then we'll talk about doing something with that. And he says, yeah, we'll do that too. But, we really need to do something with that building. And I'm thinking, what's he talking about? The gunfire and the trash and everything else. I said, how about we work on the gunfire and we work on the trash and we work on some more drug treatment and we work on these things and we'll keep talking about the building. He says, well, listen to me though, we need to do something with that building. So, 10 years later, 10 years isn't a long time. 10 years isn't a long time. 10 years later, something's happened to this building. And you look out at this this rehab here, this historic old building. He saw it. I couldn't see it, but he saw it 10 years ago. That something good could happen for the community in this building. And look what God does, thanks to good people putting one foot in front of the other. MOVEABLE Feast downstairs, doing so much good work throughout the entire state. Bonnie Ariano and all the folks at Jericho, manifesting that belief we have that there's no such thing in our city as a spare American, that everybody's needed. And Bonnie and I were agreeing that the best reentry program is a job. And second term, I hope I have a couple more nickels to rub together, because I know we can do a better job on reentry than what we've been doing. And if the economy comes back, we have a president who's trying to push our economy up out of the big ditch the last guys drove it into. Isn't it amazing? They give the last guy 8 years to put our economy into the ground like a corkscrew. And then they want Obama to clean it up and have everything just like it was in less than 2 years, 16 months. Oh, and by the way, you have to smile all the time and you can't get gray, President Obama. And meanwhile, they stand up. When he was at Boo, he was talking about it. He's down there trying to push this out of the ditch, and the guys from the other party are up there sipping on the Slurpee. And telling them, how come you're not pushing fast enough? How come it's not happening fast enough? Well, nothing ever happens fast enough, but I'm so impressed with what's going on in this building, Chris, and with your vision. Can you imagine if we hadn't tried? Can you imagine? I think God asks of each of us, and us collectively as a people, a certain creative consent. And some of us have gone through a lot harder experiences than others. Some of our own making, some not of our own making. But the question is always the same for individuals, for communities, for countries, for states. It's do we go forward or do we go back? You know, nostalgia is not what it used to be. Nostalgia is not what it used to be. You can't go back. And the better future is always in front of us. And so in the toughest of times, get this. While other states are putting people into unemployment lines and teachers into unemployment lines, 20, 30,000 teachers in California, you and I together protected the investments because of your tough votes, Delegate Jeannette, and your tough votes, Senator McFadden, to make all-time record investments in public schools. Education Week magazine said our public schools still have plenty of room for improvement, don't get me wrong, but have said that our public schools, for the first time ever, 2 years in a row now, have been named the best public schools in the 50 states in America. We're the only state to go 4 years in a row without a penny's increase to college tuition. We've actually increased. And at a time when most everything's been cut by some degree, and we've made $5.6 billion in cuts. I've cut our state budget more than any governor in Maryland history. That's not why I ran, but that's what we've had to do to keep afloat. But still, we increased funding for our community colleges so that CCBC downstairs here and help train on the weatherization and those sorts of things, those new clean green economy jobs. We have, while other states were shoving vulnerable people off with health care rolls, we actually extended health care coverage to 225,000 people, half of them poor kids that did not have health coverage before, because we moved forward and not back. We are making the turn into this new economy, and it's a big, sharp turn. Our economy is going through a tremendous change. And whenever the economy changes, there's winners and there's losers. There's families that win, there's families that lose. And everybody knows that. We don't know quite what this new economy is all about. And because of that, a tremendous amount of fear is rising up in our country as well. And it's the fear that's trying to hold our president back, trying to keep him from doing the things he needs to do on clean green energy, the carbon auctions, and so many other things to move our economy forward. But we can't go back. We've got to continue to move ahead. And I need your help in this election. In times of great change, there's winners and there's losers. And while I don't know exactly what this new economy looks like, I know that in order to win, you've got to be more engaged in global trade, not less, which is why we did the public-private partnership at the Port of Baltimore, to widen and modernize those berths, 5,700 new jobs. We've got to recruit to Maryland the jobs for that cleaner, greener future, which is why we went toe-to-toe with bigger states, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and won GM's effort to build the next generation of electric drive motor. They're building that here in Baltimore, up there at Allison Transmission and White Marsh. We are making investments in broadband internet. We're doing the things that we need to invest in the talents, the skills, the education of our people. One thing you know for sure is you're not going to be a winner in the new economy if you don't improve the talent, education, skills of your people. So that's kind of who we are and where we're going. And I've never stopped since that first time on Rose and Ashland, I've never stopped believing in what we have the power to create for ourselves. I mean, we achieved the biggest reduction in violent crime, third largest reduction in violent crime of any of the major cities in America the last 10 years. A lot of lives have been saved through drug treatment, through better interventions in the lives of kids. You know, we've achieved a 45% reduction in juvenile homicides over these last 3 years. And we need to do it all again, because there's still too many people dying, still too many people going to prison, still too many people going into early graves because of drugs and drug addiction and vacant hearts and vacant souls. So we've got a lot of work to do in the next 10 years. A lot of work to do. And you know what? It can be some of the most creative, uplifting, and rebuilding work that our city has seen in a long, long time, if we choose to make it so. As we come out of this, this will not be the first recession that lasts forever. And Mayor, I can't wait till I have a couple of nickels in my pocket. The entry programs for demolition, so that we can rebuild, and for the things that I know are going to make this a great decade for Baltimore, like the Red Line, better mass transit, and those sorts of things. So look, I need your help. Please, over the next 24 hours, talk to your family members. Our confidence in our leaders and our public institutions has rarely been this low, which means your power as neighbors has never been greater to affect the outcome of this election. The progress that we've made was not inevitable. It was a product of choices of good people. And I really want to thank you all for hearing me out and being here today. Thanks very much.